Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hi, Carol.
Hey, friend, how are you today?
I am doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I
Good
am
to
super
see you.
excited as always.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Always good to sit down and take a moment and just have a little bit of coffee with you, Deborah.
Yes. Hey, this is the only chance I get to have two cups.
I think so for me too. I'm a morning coffee drinker. You too?
Right, yes.
Yeah, I get that one cup and I'm pretty much ready to go after that. But we got an exciting conversation tonight, Deborah. I'm excited. So whenever you're ready, let me know.
All right, I'm excited as well. So we just come on in here, everybody, and share, share, share. Welcome to Build Your Best Life with Coach Deborah D. Smith. And of course, this is Coffee Chat with Deborah and Carol. And we have an exciting topic that we want to talk about today. And if you were on Tuesday, remember I told you make sure you tune in because you would never. And I want to know if anybody could guess what SADUJ was. I didn't hear from anybody, so I guess y'all didn't figure it out.
Ah,
But we are ready, ready, ready.
all right. Well, all right then. But so you gave us a little quiz on other day, huh, to figure out what this SADUJ is, right?
Right.
Oh, well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, like I said, I'm just always excited when we're having an opportunity to come together. But some associate, that SADUJ, can I tell them, Deborah?
Sure.
All right. Well, it simply means, listen to this. I love this. Some associates dump unjustly just because. Some associates dump unjustly just because. So this month, our theme is family, friends, and foes. That's kind of like the three F's there, huh?
Yes.
And the relationships are relationships are so essential to your happiness and wholeness. Unfortunately, some relationships can cause you heartaches, depression, money, and worse. It is crucial to choose your friends carefully. But of course, you can't choose your family. We know that. The family members we can't choose, but one thing we can choose are our friends. And
Right.
so our family we cannot, and foes can pop up at any moment. So tonight, Deborah, this is going to be a great conversation. You got your coffee ready?
I got it. I
I
got
got I got mine too, girl. So
it.
we're gonna need this coffee to talk about this conversation.
Oh, yes.
So tonight, as we sip our coffee and catch up, we're going to talk about say you J. Say you J. Can I tell them how you say it spelled backwards, what it means?
Yes.
Well, listen, y'all, I learned this tonight because say you J, SADUJ, is simply the word Judas spelled backwards. That's great, Deborah. I love how you come up with these. And so it simply means some associates will dump you unjustly just because they can,
Yes.
or they because they can, they feel like it, or someone influenced them. Let's look at those again. They dump you because they can, they feel like it, or someone influenced them. Well,
That's right.
Deborah, let's go ahead and tell everyone basically what this simply means. What does it, what I kind of got ahead of myself there, didn't I? And said that it's Judas spelled backwards, but can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yes, sure. All right. Good evening, Agnes. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, of course. Carol has told us that Saduj, Saduj, is actually Judas spelled backwards.
Hmm.
And we all remember that he was an associate of Jesus's.
Ooh.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
Judas was among those closest to Jesus,
Mm.
one of his disciples.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, he sold Jesus out. What? For 30 pieces of silver. Now, Judas was not just an associate, our peer.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of Jesus's ride or die. My boy, he could count on Judas to help him spread the word of the gospel. Judas was someone that Jesus trusted. He depended on him. He loved him and he cared for him. That was his boy.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that was only, a small part of a plan.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the Bible, it was planned to play out that way, but it happens today the same way. That person that you think is your girl or your boy, your ride or die, they do anything for you, they will dump you just because they can. And, if you think about someone, they're your friend, but all of a sudden, things don't seem, you start feeling some kind of way. And they can just dump you, and it might be because of jealousy, fight, simple misunderstanding, or they hear other people talking, and so then they rely on what they hear. But you're supposed to be their friend, so they're supposed to know you. But then they'll let someone else talk them out of your relationship, and they will turn their backs on you. So there is no hurt. Let me tell you, there is no hurt like being hurt by someone that you love deeply.
That's deep. It's a really hard place to be. That's what I said too. It's almost like when they hurt you like that, because like you say, Judas was his ride or die. He was his boy. That was, kind of like a girlfriend, somebody that's your inner circle friend,
Right.
And this is what I said. And they know some of your deepest secrets.
Yes.
He was with the rest of the disciples. So Jesus didn't separate him and tell the other 11 something. He told them whatever the other 11 got, Judas was in on it too.
Right.
Oh my God. And like you said, now we know in the Bible it was supposed to play out like that. But in our lives, when we have people who actually turn their back, and like you say, they become disloyal, and like you say, they listen to other people and probably get in a place where they spreading things about you. But friendships are critical to us. We need friends, right?
Right.
And I just said, I thought, the friend, friends are important to our lives now and for the future. And so we can't live in this world by ourselves. We expect to have friends, but they influence us, and not only can they influence us, but they can influence others about us as well. So friendships are critical to others, and even research has shown that people with friends, listen, they are happier. I think Miss Billy said the journey is better with friends, right?
Right.
And you mentioned people could persuade others to turn on a friend. Now, just how is that possible, Deborah?
Well, people are just, there are different reasons why people will dump you just like that, or turn their backs on you. But like in Judas's case, it can be greed. Money will make you do some crazy things.
Yes, it will.
Well, so let's just say, somebody is friends, friends, look, young men, they've grown up together. And one of them, their parents had this opportunity to do better, and their socioeconomic conditions suddenly changed. So I'm going to just give a scenario of Jay and Benny. So Jay's family, they, one of them went back to school, they got a better job, and the other one, they got promotions. And so their family really began to do better. And so, of course, they could do better things for their families. They could go on vacations and do all types of things like that. Jay began to dress differently. And so all of a sudden, Benny was like, oh, who do you think he is? He acting different. Just because he got this drip going on now. Why he got to act all like that? And that's what he'll tell other people, that Jay has changed. But if that's your friend, you should be glad
Right.
that they're doing better, that they
Mm-hmm.
have things. Because if it's your friend, they might throw you a little something. You never know.
Right.
You know, when you bless, when you bless, you can help bless some others. So
Exactly.
it's beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so people so they just get envious and jealous, and then they tell other people, and then they'll say, "Oh, Jay acting funny." Now you're the one that changed and acting funny, but you gonna put it
Mm-hmm.
on Jay and say that he's
Mm-hmm.
the one that's acting funny because you cannot handle it, that he's doing better.
Right. Right.
That's just one scenario. And then another one I can think about is
Mm-hmm.
envy. That old green-eyed envy or jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
And now we got this dude, Barack. Barack decides that he is going to run for student class president.
Uh-huh.
Now, his friend has never thought about running for any office,
Mm-hmm.
nothing in the leadership spectrum. He doesn't even have leadership skills. So, it shouldn't be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as Barack gets into the campaign, he is something that he really, really wants to do. He has a passion for it. So
Mm-hmm.
he really gets into it. He doesn't have all that time to be hanging. And so he has less time to spend with his friend Turner.
Mm-hmm.
So Turner was like, okay, well, who needs him? So then Turner begins to hang with other guys, and then the other guys like, man, what is up with your dude Barack? Ever since he started running for student class president, he don't have time for us. Who
Right.
needs him anyway? And then
Mm-hmm.
they just forget about it. I mean, they just talking, throwing shade. They don't care. But then Turner, who's supposed to be his friend,
Mm-hmm.
instead of him either speaking up for Barack
Mm-hmm.
or not paying any attention, he lets that jealousy just get down and just eat him all up. So,
Mm-hmm.
you've been calling Barack before, just dropping by his house, spending time over there. He doesn't do that. He doesn't go by and pick him up so they can walk to school together. He doesn't do any of that. He's changed. Barack hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But, and the reason why I say, uh, it depends on the person because Turner's not thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Barack is busy. This is something he really wants to do. And if you're my friend, you know that that's something I want to do. That's just like me putting up my posts, doing my posts, and you like, Deborah, you ain't got time for me? What are you doing? But if, just like you help me do stuff, if Turner
Mm-hmm.
would say, hey, man, what you need? I
Right.
got
Right.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Then what would happen?
Right.
Barack would
Right.
get more done and he would have more time to spend with his friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But people, they don't look at it that way.
No,
They
look at
just
it that
go
way.
off on a
Mm-hmm.
tangent for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know what? And then if he would have gone to Barack like that, he would have been helping Barack. But guess what else would have been happening? He would have been spending time with him. But
Right.
I like what you said too about, when people see you moving in a different direction and they're supposed to be your friends. And so you're beginning to shine a little bit brighter than you did before. And now they want to put the shade on you.
Right.
And so, and that's why you have to be so in tune to your dreams. See, Barack knew what he wanted to do, and that's what we have to make sure that we know what, you talk about setting goals all the time and being specific with your goals. And so Barack knew what he wanted to do. And so as, people began to do better, like you said, the Jade and was it Barney that you used? They began, one began to, family was doing better and trying to move up out of a situation. And of course, if they were doing better, like you said, sometimes people, when they move up, they don't forget their friends. Sometimes they want to go back and help their friends. But if you start making enemies out of them, then you've lost out twice about, having a good friend. But it's just amazing how we can just get caught up with those kind of things and allow start bad mouthing. You talked about that, bad mouthing other people, bad mouthing them simply because they're showing something different in order, instead of being that same old person. But I just figured like this: every year we're gonna get taller, and sometimes we're gonna get bigger. So so that's an opportunity to grow. Nobody, if you're a young adult, you're still growing. So why wouldn't you want to continue to grow? And why would you settle for something? And especially if you see somebody else that's setting a pathway, why can't you go and try to, like you say, walk alongside them? Or why not get, look and see, well, if he's doing something, perhaps I can do something as well. And collectively, you guys can, be stronger by pushing and encouraging one another. But
Right.
yeah, it's something. So, but um, I don't know, Deborah. It's just so much on this conversation. Like I said, that we can look at and begin to see how these friendships can happen. And I
Yes.
know for a fact that has kind of happened to me with friends before too. What when I think I was actually, I didn't go to school college till after about 3 years.
Mhm.
And all of my little high school, couple of my little road dogs, they had gone on and gone off to school, and I decided I want to get married, and had a baby, and then I was going to go to school late. But it was amazing when we all end up in the same college. I'm just 3 years later, how they just kind of turned their backs
Mhm.
on me. And just, instead of me, I'm going down there new, even with a baby and a husband, but they never took me under their wings. They act like I was from Mars and they was from Venus. That's how they But anyway, that is really some of the things. And it really is, it hurts. Don't you think it hurts you when people do you that way? Like you say, you're supposed to be my ride or die, you're supposed to be my good friend, and then all of a sudden, you're throwing the shade, and you're trying to dull my shine and those kind of things. So anyway,
Yeah. So
what
how did you react with that situation? That was kind of a bad situation,
it was
especially they were supposed to be your friend. So
right.
what did you do?
Well, you know what? When that, and I, like I said, that was just one that came up, but I can think of some other ones that happened in something very similar too. But thank you for that question too, because it absolutely hurt me to see my friends who I thought I could rely upon and depend upon. And some of us have been friends, and we done ate pork and beans and everything else together. And so how did I handle this, Deborah? I work hard on not being a people pleaser. So immediately, my first thing, I jumped into my people pleasing mode, my inferiority thing. And I started, of course, trying to figure out what happened, what did I do? You know how you want to beat yourself up,
Right.
and you really should look to see if you've done anything first. So I just kind of would reflect on I mean, it makes you almost crazy, because you start looking back at the last conversation y'all had. Well, what did I do? What did I say? All of the what ifs. And
Right.
then you start beating yourself up about stuff, and then you look to try to blame them or yourself. And then somewhere it becomes, it's just shameful. You makes you feel shameful, and you start trying to seek out the other friends that y'all had together to see if they were getting treated the same way. And then you just feel, in the end, it's like a void. It's like you lost something. You almost lost it. You can't put your finger on what's happened. And so you begin to have this tremendous void, because remember, they're supposed to be our friends, right?
Friends, right.
So there's a loss going on there. And so that was kind of like, I really just couldn't comprehend why it was happening that way. Why were they treating me that way? And you were supposed to be my friend. You have anything to add to that, Deborah?
I mean, it's just hard to, understand. And, that happens. I had that happen to me recently. And,
Uh-huh.
it was always, I just love you to death. You're the nicest person. And then it was, I call, you don't answer the phone,
Oh,
you don't
wow.
call me back. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like you. I'm like, oh, no, did I do anything?
Yeah.
I stay in my house. I don't go anywhere. I hadn't been talking to anybody that knows all of us, so I know I didn't say anything about anybody. What did I do? And
Mm-hmm.
then you
Mm-hmm.
ask, you suppose if you have a good friendship and you care about people, yeah, and if sometimes you do things and you don't realize you do them, so you
Right.
ask,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm feeling a certain kind of way, did I do anything?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Right.
no, okay, but you still treat me the same way, so then
Mm-hmm.
it's like, hey, you know what? I know I haven't done anything, I know I
Right.
haven't said anything, I know I'm still me, so
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Of course, say bye, Felicia, huh?
Bye.
Bye. But you know what? And like you were saying, when you go to them and then you ask them, because sometimes I think you have to pick and choose if you're going to go to them. You got to make that decision if
Right.
it's good or bad to try to go and make amends. Sometimes you just got, like you say, just say bye, Felicia, and go on. But then that you said something else when you go to that, you've gone to that person and they're like, oh no, it's nothing. Well, that's not only is that disloyalty, but that's deception too. You
Yeah.
know, that
Right.
is because if they know something is wrong, they know that, it could be you offended them. Like you said, you didn't realize it. You said it. You didn't know, you're not aware of your action. And what really drives me crazy is people say, you know what you did. Well, no, I don't. If I'm asking you, I don't know. So
Right.
I hate that. And like you say, you go and you ask. And that's what the Bible says too. If I offend my brother or sister, I need to come to that person, first. But when
Right.
you go to the person and they deceive, they say you ain't done nothing. Oh, that the other one is, girl, no, that ain't no big deal. I don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it, but you don't quit talking to me. Really?
Right.
Oh, it's amazing. But yeah, that it can be a foe as well as some friends. But what other situation may cause people to what can cause people to do that and just dump you? Friend to dump another one, and you're your friend, and now you're dumping your friend. So, what other situations may cause a friend to dump another?
Okay, now this is gonna be a big one here. Hi,
Oh,
Dan and Cynthia. Thank y'all for tuning in. Uh, social media, social
ooh, Lordy.
media.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got social media, so that has changed every situation and everyone. You
Mm-hmm.
know, yes, Cynthia, jealousy. That jealousy, that's a horrible thing right
It
there.
is. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but people they take social media, and I think it, you know, is something where you can really communicate with a lot of people. You
Right.
can share things that have happened in your life that you're
Mm-hmm.
proud of, like if your child graduated,
Mm-hmm.
just had a birthday, or you got a new grandbaby, but things that you're excited about. But people
Mm-hmm.
have taken social media. They like to throw shade at people.
Mm-hmm.
They gangs and people like that need to start feuds in between each other and other
Mm-hmm.
gangs.
Mm-hmm.
You have people stealing people's identities.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm so good at Facebook. I do a fake Facebook page and it looked like it's Carol and it's not Carol, it's somebody else. Everybody start getting these new friend me from Carol. And
Right.
Carol, like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
already your friend. What am I gonna friend you for? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
somebody that's built something fake. So
Mm-hmm.
now they're either doing something to somebody else or saying something, and it looks like it's coming from you, or they're
Mm-hmm.
saying something about you.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got all this misunderstanding, all this mess going on with social media.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been, a biggie. People have, and it's just horrible. But sometimes you can have misunderstandings with people.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said before, they choose to talk about it, or they not. If they don't, or they
Mm-hmm.
but with like they can't talk. But with
Right.
social media, now they don't even have to talk. All I got to do is just go on Facebook and throw some shade.
Mm-hmm.
People get their little new ride, they whip what they new whip, and they think they all that. You know, whew, I can get one anytime I want, and it won't be no Toyota that you got. This is some stupid stuff.
Mhm.
But because they spend so much time, 90% of their time on social media,
Mhm.
they put
Mhm.
things like that out there, and then okay, they're dumping that friend and just through with them. Now you
Mhm.
jealous because that person got a new car. Why? Because they probably riding you anyway. So I
Mhm.
don't care if they got a Volkswagen or a
Mhm.
limousine.
Mhm.
They riding you. So why you throwing shade at them?
Mhm.
Saying
Mhm.
that they're different. They got a
Mhm.
car. God
Mhm.
blessed them with a car.
Right. Right.
And it's just horrible. But
It
there's been
is.
so many bad things that happen on
Mhm.
social media, and
Mhm.
that's just some small things. But some of the things, people have actually gotten killed,
Mhm. Mhm.
because of stuff on social
Mhm.
media.
Mhm. And
And
like you say, Deborah, that social media is something else, and not just with friends, but I think it's a when they want to throw shade like that and say ugly things to me, I just think, well, would you say that in my face? You
mm,
know, would and sometimes I think it's a coward way to say things that you really wouldn't say in that person's face, and so you can put all of that. I mean, some of the stuff I look at and I was like, man, how long did it take you to write this, just to put it on Facebook? How much time did you spend putting this all together? And like you said, just so you can throw shade or be jealous of someone else, or just the fake Facebook page and all that stuff. And like you say, getting those friend requests. And this is my favorite word to them. When I realize that they've sent me something and I know it's not my friend, I'll go in there and say, get a job, and stop trying to take on somebody's identity. Because, and now these people are so good with it, they can tap into your stuff and, like you say, respond and keep issues going that it couldn't have. You got to always second guess this Facebook and social media stuff, because every time they think they figured a way hackers can't get into it, the hackers figure out a new way. So, but it can cause a lot of issues. And then sometimes people are on there being themselves, they just being true to themselves and saying things that, like I said, would you say that to that person standing face to face? Or is this your platform? I say that you can hide behind and write all that ugly stuff and say all those ugly things, but you won't say that in their face. And so, yeah, social media is really, really difficult. So, but anyway, I don't know. So, anything else you want to share on that one, Deborah?
well, the only thing on the social media that I didn't mention is that other thing with ghosting their friends.
Mm-hmm,
Like
mm-hmm,
so I'm mad at you, Carol. So
uh-huh.
I'm just gonna block you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you
Mm-hmm,
won't be able to even communicate with me.
mm-hmm,
Well, I just
mm-hmm,
want to talk with her. She's not answering my phone calls. I just want it's her birthday. I want to send her a happy birthday. Why
mm-hmm,
can't it says block? Why is it blocked?
mm-hmm.
You know, and
Yeah.
you know you haven't done anything to me. So it's like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's
But
just so sad.
it really is. But what about, and I thought about this as you were talking. And so when they get on there and they get on social media, they say all these crazy things. And, those reckless words, I'm big about us paying attention to our words. And then you say all these old reckless words and you share, you go on and you share perhaps a secret that that friend had told, has shared with
Mhm.
you. And now you got disloyalty, you got distrust, and you saying these hurtful things. And then this is one that gets me, and I don't know, you can tell me what you think, but they'll say whatever they want to say. And if you have an opportunity to confront them, whether it's however, by text, whatever, it bothers me when people say what they want to say and then turn around and say, oh girl, I was just kidding. Yeah, I didn't mean that. Oh my goodness. Well, if you were just kidding, that's what I think about. Just kidding is just a lie. You
Right.
really said what you wanted to say. And then another one is they say what they want to say and tell my girl, the Holy Spirit will convict me and make me apologize. My thing was, why didn't he convict you before you opened your mouth and said those cruel things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that I don't know, that just gets me when people, say I was just kidding and know they really mean. I mean, when they say, now wait, just kidding can be really truthfully just kidding. But when you say mean, harsh things and you're talking about people and pulling them down, and like you say, finding everything wrong with them when they're trying to move up, and then you're turning around and say, "Oh, I was just kidding. I didn't mean that." Well, who you said it? Who else would mean it out of your mouth if
Yeah,
you
who
said
made you say it?
so? Yeah, I'm like, really now? I don't know, but I don't know. And that was my question. Well, if you said it, who made you say it if it came out your mouth? Because you are responsible for what comes out of your mouth. Nobody else is. So
And your actions, your actions.
yeah, they're your actions, and you have to be responsible for, though the things that we say, the things that we do. We're going to be held accountable for those things. And so, well, you shooting shade on somebody else and not really thinking about the things that you're saying, causing conflict and confusion and all those kind of things. So it's amazing. But yeah, though this can be a tough subject tonight. But what is the end all of some associates dumping a friend unjustly, just because, just simply because they just unjustly decide they're going to dump the person? What do you think about that, Deborah?
Well, okay. First, I want to comment on what Cynthia said. She said
Okay,
that's the
okay.
coward's way out. And now she said a
That's
mouthful.
uh-huh.
That is exactly right. They are being cowards
They
because
are
if I offend you,
right.
I'll say something to hurt your feelings. You don't have to say anything right then, but if you woman enough to do
Mm.
something silly, you could come to me, Deborah.
Mm-hmm.
The other day when I put on my new dress, you were like, "Ooh, that thing too tight." You and you said it in front of everybody. I didn't realize it was too tight. I didn't think so. I had asked my sister before I left home, and she said it was fine. But that really hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
That you would say that in front of other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, why? I mean, we play like that.
That's
Okay,
that
why
just
you
kidding.
say
I was just kidding. I didn't mean it. Yeah, that.
that?
But
It's silly.
like you said, in front of people, no restraints, just really make you wonder, are you really my friend? Or have you really been my friend when you do things like that? And it's, you know, it can be a little vindictive that you're doing. And so sometimes people got to get at the root of why they act the way they do, because that can
Right.
get to be a very personal issue. But yeah, those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. So yeah, that end all and not unjustly dumping people. So did
Right.
we talk about that? Yeah.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Well, first and foremost, communication is an essential tool for everyone to be able to
Mm-hmm.
transfer information to another person.
Mm-hmm.
Just communicate. So,
Mm-hmm.
therefore, when people stop communicating and they rely on handling the information the
Mm-hmm.
wrong way, we
Mm-hmm.
get this Judas situation. You know,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
so, because that leads to what? Lying,
Mm-hmm.
backstabbing, envy,
Mm-hmm.
jealousy. You're hurting people. Uh, you disappointing them, making disappointing people, and worse.
Mm-hmm.
You just doing things to people, and it's just really unjust. So, and like I said before, I tread very lightly when I say these things, but
Mm-hmm.
these things can cause people to get physically harmed or to kill somebody,
Oh
because you
yeah.
never know when somebody's having a really bad day
Mm-hmm.
and you do or say that one thing that push that last button.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you just send them right over the edge, and that
Mm-hmm.
edge is you. You the
Mm-hmm.
last one made them mad, so they come
Mm-hmm.
into you.
Mm.
And so, the people now have a lot of things going
They
on.
do. Mm-hmm.
With this COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs, people
Mm-hmm.
lost their homes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are having mental health issues with this.
Mm-hmm.
Then you complain. People don't have time for that.
They
This is
don't.
just
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. You
Mm-hmm.
never know what somebody is going through. you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you take it lightly, but it could be something that's very, very
Mm-hmm.
serious to that
Mm-hmm.
person.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing, all friends are not
Ooh.
forever.
Mm-hmm.
Some friends may be in your life just for a season. The end of that relationship may be fulfilling destiny. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like,
Mm-hmm.
with Judas, that was fulfilling a destiny. So
Mm-hmm.
in your case, God could have put that person in your life for a reason. You may be somebody just too friendly, just pick up with any and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to show you that you need to stop doing that before something terrible happens to you. So he may put that person in your life for that season
Mm-hmm.
just to show you some different things.
Mm-hmm.
But it is essential that we all keep an eye open and our ears open when we are around other people, our associates. We need to
Mm-hmm.
be always mindful and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
regardless of if it's an associate, an acquaintance, a peer,
Mm-hmm.
a close friend, a best friend,
Mm-hmm.
you have to remain aware of your surroundings.
Mm.
Sometimes even your family members, you can tell them that you want to open this business, you're going to start your own business, you're going to quit your job, and they will just strongly disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Ask you any questions about, well, you're gonna quit your job. That's she's stupid. Well, how do
Mm-hmm.
you know that that person haven't been saving their money and they're in
Right.
a place where they can quit their job? You don't
Mm-hmm.
know their entire situation.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
you talk with people, you don't discourage your family members, because what's gonna happen? If every time I come to you, you disagreeing with what I say,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you calling me stupid or something,
Mm-hmm.
come to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then when I become rich and wealthy, then you're gonna be throwing some more shade, because you're gonna say, oh, she thinks she all
You
of that
think you
now.
all of that. Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Yeah.
have to learn, when somebody act like that, they're throwing shade, doing whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not in our lives anymore. It's okay. We have to
It's
be
okay.
okay with that. It's a
Mm-hmm.
time for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then that third one, last one I want to say, if you are aware of a
Mm.
misunderstanding, that you did something, you think about it and say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, you need to take some action.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But you find, you don't get in an argument with them, but then you
Mm-hmm.
realize, hey, I should have said that. Now they mad, but I'm a little cool down. But then, hey, Carol, the other day we were out there and we were in front of friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, oh, that dress too tight. Now, I'm so sorry, and I was wrong. I shouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
said that. Now, really, truly, I was teasing, because I always say you built like a Coke bottle. So your
Mm-hmm.
hips are, they shape nice. So that dress was really fitting you, girl. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it was fitting you. I was a
Mm-hmm.
little jealous because that
Mm-hmm.
dress was fitting you. So no,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't that it was too tight. It was fitting you like
Mm-hmm.
a glove.
Mm-hmm.
But I shouldn't have said anything like that, because people started laughing, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure that hurt your feelings. And I do
Right.
love you, and I wouldn't hurt your feelings for anything in the world. But I was just being silly and didn't
Mm-hmm.
think before I spoke. I
Right.
am so sorry.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to that communication, because just like what you just said, communication is so key. And like the person went back and apologized and opened up that conversation. That's what I always say. That type of communication, heartfelt repentance, heartfelt, that I said it and I recognize my wrong. I'm coming back. And so let's talk about it, because when we're the big enough person to go back and apologize and sincerely apologize, and and we're friends, I recognize that I hurt you, I come back and I say I'm sorry. And so with that, you're able, that kind of communication can dispel a lot of other, the other people who might take it and start causing rumors and, oh, did you hear, and keep that fire going. That's a good way to go back and shut that thing down. You apologize, you recognize you hurt your friend, you recognize it was, and other people, saw that. So to keep those other people from bringing more disconnect and more of pulling people apart, you went back and said, I'm sorry, but you gotta mean it. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
gotta truly mean it, because you don't want them. But now that can shut down a whole bunch of other stuff, because if you had not gone back, just think, no communication could have left you offended, and then back in that place where the person you said it to was upset, and now you don't know how to go back and mend that relationship or try to mend it. So communication is so key. And you said something else too. My pastor always said that a person comes into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And you just talked about the reason that the people are there. But when they are there for a season, I think we have to recognize that everybody won't be in our lives forever. And guess what, Deborah? It doesn't mean there's something wrong with them or is something wrong with you. It's sometimes our lives just take us in very different directions.
Right.
But we have to be okay with the direction that it's moving in, because I can look back and say, when you were in my life for a reason, then that reason was fulfilled. But there may be a time that it may circle back around, and we may come back and be in each other's lives again. And so there are some people that I got a high school friend. We've been friends, and we graduated in '69. We've been friends all that long too. But there's some I lost along the way, because they were just for a reason, season, and some for a lifetime. So yes, communication is key. And we do have to know that those people are there for a reason, season, or a lifetime. But communication, we have to be able, I think, if we shot somebody some shade and we've been convicted of that, I think we got to go back and say something,
Right.
so we can do something. Like you said, your actions speak so much louder than our words. So we have to really go and do something,
Right. And we had some good comments from my
Okay,
guests
well,
out
let's look at
here.
those comments. I finally pulled mine up. Yeah. Jocelyn said a sincere apology goes a long way. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Did you see some others that I missed?
Yeah, Cynthia had up here, not everyone is supposed to be in the next chapter of your life.
Ooh, that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Coach always say, growing leaves do what? No, growing trees lose
Lose
leaves.
leaves, right.
So, as you grow, you're going to lose a few leaves. That's called that little pruning process we have to go through. Yeah,
Yeah.
these are great, great, great little comments, Jocelyn and making. She said, take note of that friend that always throw shade.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Because you wonder, you know what? If they do you like that, it makes me wonder, were you really my friend?
Right.
Were you really my friend? If that's what you're doing. And like you said, and then the jealousy and even with the family members who have a dream, have a goal, and then the naysayers and they come in our families as well. Let's be for real. And they try to talk them out of it, or try to make them not pursue their dreams. And so like you say, you got to have your eyes and ears open so you can be able to discern who's giving you that shine or that shade. Either way.
All right. Yeah. I had a young lady, she was supposed to be my friend, and we were in an organization, and I was the head of the organization. And but she was always, oh, I love her so much. Oh, you're my friend. You're my friend. And we were having our anniversary. And I remember I went to this gown shop and bought this, what is it, tea-length gown. And I had it hanging on the door at my mom's house. And she saw it and she was like, that's what you're wearing? Oh, I wish I had a dress like that. My mama looked at me. She said, that ain't your friend. The way she said it or whatever. But she ended up being so right, because she tried to steal my boyfriend. She
Oh, Lord.
told lies on me, and then she tried to cause discord in the organization. Told the person that was over us, and she said, well, tell me what the problem is. What is it going on between y'all? I thought y'all was friends. She said, you know, I said, tell her you the one saying something wrong. Tell her what it is. Did you tell anybody anything? She could never tell anybody what the problem was. It wasn't no problem.
She was the problem.
Yeah, you know, so it's just, yeah, you're right, Cynthia. Oh, just that green,
that green monster.
yeah,
That's
that's
just
fun.
jealousy. And that's what it is. And that's why I say sometimes, you know, wait, as long as you don't outshine or look like you're stepping above, you know, we can be okay on the same level. You ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing, you know, so we're okay. But as soon as you try to shift, I mean, it can be just a little shift, a mindset shift. And all of a sudden, oh, she don't act the same no more. She thinks she all of that on a bag of chips. You know how they do it, you know. And so, and my favorite word is sentence is that if I can't celebrate you, I don't want to just tolerate you. Let's celebrate. We have to learn to celebrate one another, you know. And just cause that dress fits you nice, or that's the dress you wearing, celebrate that if my friend looks nice in that dress, because really, I think that person, like Cynthia says, jealous, but I think there's an identity issue going on there as well. They don't really know who they are. And sometimes people have gotten absorbed in other people's identity, you know, want to be just that. Now that's really dangerous right there. That goes beyond, as what Cynthia said, that green monster, when they just want to emulate everything you do, want to be you. And I don't know. That becomes very dangerous, I think, when people get like that. And so, but it's still an opportunity for people to be able to look and see, you know, where they are and why they choose to unjustly dump a friend. And so, but like I said, my favorite one is, you must not be my friend in the first place. So if you dump me, then that I have to look back and see that, because if friends are real, they can get mad at each other. They gonna tell each other the truth. You know, they're not gonna be jealous. They want to see the very best for you, you know?
Right.
And so when they start acting like that, it makes me wonder, are you really my friend? But also, I think for me, as you talked about those people who are unjustly dumping you just because they want to, and for me, it could be that an awareness needs to happen. And I think you talk about being discerning and looking around and hearing around. But yeah, I think an awareness need to happen. Like I said, are they really my friends? Have my eyes been closed to them all this time? Like you said, your mom was saying to you, that's really not your friend. But sometimes we can get so blind by whatever it is that keep us looking at them for friends, and sometimes we just can't see the disloyalty or the deception until, for me, it's got to be a big old signboard. Sometimes I used to have this thing,
slap you upside the head.
slap you upside your head. You know, how much more does it take for you to see that? But that's because you want to have a heart that's kind of pure and things like that, and you think, well, I'm being a friend, I want them to be like me, you know. So like I said, maybe they weren't your friend. And, you know, and I said, this friendship that can end never really began.
Right.
If a friendship can end, it never really began. And so that's the one thing. And then for me, I thought about former First Lady Michelle Obama. So when they start going like that, you know, and they start criticizing and finding everything wrong with you, there's nothing you can do right, shooting on your shine and all those kind of things. I love what she say. When they go low, we got to go high. We got to go high. When they go low, because they going low. And we have to make a decision. Am I going to let them take, and you talk about this all the time, Deborah, in your book. Are they gonna pull me out of my character because they want to go low, and they want me to go down there and grind in the dirt with them? No. We have to be able to choose to go higher and not let them take us out of our character, and not let them stop you from being who you want to be, We talked about people moving up and stuff like that. But you got to make sure you're being the best you can be. And you got to, who said that? You got to keep your hope alive, and you can't let them mess up your hope. So, yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, and that's what I thought about when you say you go and make amends. But sometimes you go and make amends. And what do you do if they don't want to accept your apology? If you messed up and they don't want to accept your apology, or you've gone, like you said, you've gone and asked them what's wrong, and did I do anything? So kind of like you say bye, Felicia, but how do you move forward from that? You didn't say bye to them, so how would you move forward on that?
Well, it hurts because when it's different if you did something and they have a reason, but if you hadn't done anything and they're saying there's nothing wrong, there's nothing you can do. So it hurts if that's somebody that you really, thought a lot of. But the only thing I do, I said, okay, Lord, let me just turn that loose. But just like I was praying for them every day before, I still pray for them every day. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
Did you see what Cynthia wrote in the comment?
I was going to ask you to read that.
Okay, let me read Cynthia. This says, some people are not ready to take that next step up in life, and they try to keep you at their level. Then get upset when you move on without them. Now, that is so true. They can't handle the new level that you're on. They can't handle the new you. And so what do they want to, that's what I say. They want you to stay down at the level they are on because they're comfortable there. And not only that, they're comfortable there and they don't want to do anything to move forward. So for them to stay there and make you look bad, they're going to talk about you. That's what they want to do. Yeah, they don't want, and there's some people don't want to be any better. They want to stay the same. And so anyway.
But we just have to not be like Judas.
Right.
You say we have to, as women, is to pull together and be there for each other, celebrate each other. So there is a group of us I know that has the character to do just that. So we can start this thing. So
we can,
we can do the right thing, treat people like they should be treated, celebrate our friends, be there for them. If we know or think we did something wrong, we can apologize if there's misunderstanding. And if it's just the end of our season with someone, we can just I love them anyway. And if that was somebody that was in your prayer, like I said, just continue to pray for them. You wish them the best. And if they ever come to you and need something, hey, you're there. So, but no longer didn't burn any bridges.
Yeah, that is so true. And you're absolutely right. As women, we could start this new way of thinking. But also, I love that you brought in that we have to continue to pray for them, regardless of where they are. We have to, pray for them because somewhere they need our prayers. And so my thing was they need our prayers. They need our forgiveness. And we have to learn if we messed up, we have to forgive ourselves as well. We have to make sure that we are doing that. And I saw this and I thought it was good because sometimes we'll ponder those things around in our mind. We keep rehashing, trying to figure out, what did I do? Why did they do me like this? The why? And I said, you can't let them take up no real estate in you. The real estate is, you can't let them continue to take up your time, and you can't really continue to let them take up your emotion. That's when they got real estate, is when they taking your time and they taking your emotions away, where you constantly going back and forth, trying to figure it out. But like you said, release them, pray for them, and let them go. And if God see fit, he'll circle that thing back around. It may come with your apology, but like you say, when they come back, if they come back and see a change, I believe the Lord don't want us to say, I told you you was wrong. I told you, don't bring up all that stuff. Sometimes making amends is not going back rehashing stuff. You just got to let it go and move forward.
Right.
Yeah. And then like no revenge, no retaliation, no resentment, and no bad mouthing one another. That's how, to me, that's how we have to move forward. Because some people, like I said, are in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. So we have to be okay with whatever season that they're in our lives. We have to be okay with where they are and be grateful. Because even if they came in there with shade, they taught you something, right?
Yep.
They taught you something. Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep.
Well, this has been a great conversation. Deborah, you have anything else to add as we always have such a great time talking, but do you have anything for us to add?
No, I think we covered everything. It was a very good conversation, and I love the comments that we got
Great
from
comment.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it was well rounded. Great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Thank y'all so much for supporting this platform, coming in and being a part. I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, Cynthia said, Happy International Women's Month. Lift each other up all year round. Love that, Cynthia. That's a great end all right there.
Yes. Thank you, Cynthia. Yes.
Great.
Yes.
All righty then. Well,
so thank you so much. And congratulations again, Cynthia. She got an award.
She did? Yeah. Well, let's celebrate Cynthia. Yes, absolutely. We want to celebrate. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's like she said, it's Women Month. We can celebrate one another.
Yes.
If we can't, we just have to be making sure and be intentional is the word I'm looking for. Be intentional about celebrating one another and lifting each other up and helping one another climb up and be okay. If you're not the smartest one, I got the best platform and all that, we just got to be okay with who we are. Be okay and shine in your skin. That's my favorite thing.
Work together.
Work together. All right.
We can get it done. We can get it done. So thank y'all so much. And please tune in Saturday at 9:30 a.m. My topic is going to be, whose friend are you?
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Yes, and you have to tune in the following Saturday. Now, I'll be on Tuesday and Thursday as well, but the following Saturday, it'll be Chucks for Pearls and Earls. Woo! We're only on every quarter, so we will be here on March the 19th at 9:30 a.m. And our topic is men praying, women providing healing, promoting hope. And you don't want to miss this. This is going to be outside the box. Out the box.
Well, outside of the box. No, Deborah, over the top.
Over the top.
Over the top.
Yeah. But really, I think you're going to love it. We had so much fun planning it.
We did.
But it's going to be I think it's a great concept. So please join us on the 19th at 9:30 a.m. for Chucks for Pearls and Earls.
All right.
And that is Carol Crockett, Anastasia Smith, and Anita Cummins, and myself. So we are looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Haven't seen some of them in a while, too.
Yeah. So, yes, and I'll see you this Saturday, hopefully at 9:30 a.m. And Carol, you want to tell them a little bit about what you're doing before I close out?
Well, I'm still doing the same thing. You can follow me on Facebook at Carol, at The Power of Words with Carol Crockett. I'm posting and I'm trying to relaunch. I'm trying to launch something new, and I'm can't talk about it right now. But I am on every third Monday night with Coach Ricardo, and I'm his co-host, along with Miss Deborah. You have fourth Monday night?
Mondays.
And so we have great topics. So please follow us even on Coach Ricardo's page, because we like conversations and we like to talk. And so we love having you guys follow us, and just follow me with Power of the Word, because I believe that I am the essence of what God spoke about me. So what we say is so important. So remember that your words are so important. It is creating destiny for you and others that we speak words to and about. So thank you, Miss Deborah, for letting me share.
Oh, anytime, anytime. So, your life is what you make of it. So please follow my basic principles to begin building your best life. Not tomorrow, not next month, not next year, but now. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. I love you all. Looking for
Love
you
y'all. Bye-bye.
Saturday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.